What's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel once again. Now today's video is another Lyft video. As you can see in the description, I'm actually going to explain to you how much money I made using the Lyft rental on my second week. And only thing I have to tell you, my second week, my daughter, she is 7 months and she was admitted into the hospital. And she was in the hospital for about 8 days. So I was confined to only working in the morning. I had to take my son to summer camp every morning at 8:30 in the morning and pick him up at around 4:30 in the afternoon. So between 8:30 and 4 o'clock, that was the only time I was available to work. And it wasn't that busy. You know, I had a certain location here in Philly that I know for a fact that I was able to get rides. But other people found the same location. And it was just who's going to get that ride at that certain time. So let's get to it. I'll let you know how much money I made every single day and how much money I earned, which I did not earn anything on my second week. So here it is. Now, if you watched my video from last week, this is how much money I made last week. I made $133 after paying the car rental. And the first week I worked 30 hours, which I worked more than 30 hours, and I was able to get 60 rides. And I earned $348, right? And the Lyft rental was $219 plus $40 in taxes and rental fees. Now, this is only in Philadelphia. The taxes are higher because I have to pay for city tax, which is Philadelphia tax, and state tax, which is Pennsylvania tax. So depending on what city you live at and what state you live in, you might not have to pay as much as I did. So I end up making, after everything was said and done, $133. Now, after working more than 30 hours, most likely it was probably close to 35 hours or 40 hours, I had to drive with Uber too as well to make some money on Saturday. I was actually thinking about returning the car, but I chose not to. The main reason, I'm like, you know what, maybe I didn't put enough hours, maybe it was a bad week. And it was, the week of 4th of July. And July is one of the worst times to rent any vehicle for Uber and Lyft because it's slow here in Philadelphia. So let's go, and this is the first week, let's go to the second week. First week was 60 rides. The second week is 26 rides, right? Like I said earlier, I was only able to work in the morning because I dropped my son off every morning for summer camp and went home, took a shower, worked in the morning, and there were certain days I did not get a ride, man. Like, literally did not get a ride. I was waiting for a ride sometimes 2-3 hours, and I did not get a ride at all, and that kind of pissed me off with Lyft. So, $265. Now, this week I returned the car on Friday, because I was like, you know what, I'm not making money with Lyft, and plus my daughter's in the hospital. I don't want to focus on making money for this car and worried about her being in the hospital. And I had to work full-time on the weekend as well. So, let me see. I paid, I got my deposit back, which was $250. For 5 days, the rental was $156, plus taxes and rental fees, which is crazy. Let me see. Let me show you. So Monday, I was able to get 10 rides. Tuesday pissed me off so much. Let me show you. Tuesday, this is the ride history, right? If you see here, 237. I started working. I turned the app on at 10:30 in the morning. From 10:30 to 1:30, I did not get one ride. One ride. I thought there was something wrong with my phone. I turned my phone off and on. I turned the app off and on. I went to 3 different locations here in Philly. Not one ride. I sat at each location for about 40 minutes. And I was like, you know what? I'll turn the app off and drive somewhere else. Nothing. Not one thing. I was so frustrated that I didn't make any money that day. I actually asked my wife to actually pick my son up so I can make some money that day to pay for this damn rental. So At 1:30, I turned the app off. Then at 2:30, I turned the app back on, and between 1:30 and 2:30, I just went home. From 1:30 to 2:30, I just went home, ate lunch, and just relaxed. Just tried to calm down because I was so aggravated with Lyft not getting rides. So I got my first ride at 2:37, and I got my last ride at 5:37. After this ride, I went straight to the hospital. So I was like, you know what? That's it for today. I'm going to go straight to the hospital. Wednesday, 6 rides. Thursday, 4 rides. Now, what happened was I thought about keeping the car for another week, but on Wednesday, I found out that my daughter was going to be in the hospital until like Saturday or Sunday, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to return the car. If you see here, right, this ride took about 15 minutes, right, on Friday, the last day when I returned the car. But on Friday, I was online for an hour. Literally online for an hour. I'm not sure why it's not showing it. Let me see. It won't show it. I was online for a full hour before I got this ride. And I was so pissed off. And I was like, you know what? I was actually going to drive the rest of the day. But after being online for an hour and getting one ride, I literally just turned the app off, got gas for the car, cleaned the car up, and just waited until my son got out of school, then returned the vehicle back to Lyft because I was just done with this car. I just couldn't wait until I returned this car. So, did I make money the second week? No. I literally lost money, man. Like, all right, this is what they sent me, right? This is actually how much I made for my second week. I made $171 minus $156. This is how much I made on my second week. $15 after Lyft took their cut. Was it worth it renting the car with Lyft? For me, no. No, I lost money. The first week, I probably made maybe $60, $70 after paying for gas. The second week, I literally lost money. You know, after Lyft took their cut, I made $15. And I spent more on gas every single day using the car. You know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday. Friday, I had to put gas back in the car. And I think I spent probably like $30 in gas just to fill it up. So really, I lost money using the car with Lyft. Will I do it again? Will I ever rent with Lyft again? If I needed a car to go back and forth from work, I would. And I wasn't making it with Lyft at all. That was like the part I was like so pissed off. I wasn't making any money with Lyft. And everything went towards the car, the tips, everything. And a part of me is like, wanted to tell passengers, please don't tip me in the app. If you're going to tip me, please don't tip me. Like the second week, I was so aggravated and not receiving my tips. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, please don't tip me. Please don't tip me. Because the thing is, like, everything went towards the car. I'm not making any money unless someone gave me cash. Everything went towards Lyft. I literally was working for Lyft. Everything, the first $250, they're taking more money from you per mile. Instead of making 69 cents, here in Philly, you're making 40 cents. So they're taking 29 cents per mile when you have a passenger in your car. So it just, and plus you have to pay for gas. Like, that's like, no. And if something ever happens to that car, like if they give you a brand new spanking car, there's a dent like this big. And I've seen some cars, some Lyft cars that are banged up. You have to pay for that. I don't know how much. I don't know where they get the money from, but you have to pay for that. So I was like, you know what? I was too stressed out the second week with the family issues, with renting with Lyft, not making money, sitting in the car for like 3 hours one day, not getting a ride. So you know what? No, I just can't do it anymore, man. Like, I'd rather just drive my car for one day. Literally, I could drive my car one day, any day of the week, except Mondays. Mondays is kind of slow here. And I can make the money I need to make for the rest of the week or for vacation. So, hopefully, if you're using the car, the renting for Lyft, hopefully it's working out for you. If it is, I'm happy for you. I'm not jealous of anybody. It just did not work for me. I wish it did, but it didn't. Thank you for watching this. Hopefully you like what you see. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you next time on the